In this movie, I'll show you how to safely close all open documents, specifically here on the PC. If you're working on the Mac, there's a sufficient number of differences that you'll be better served by the next movie. So notice that I have a total of 3 documents open right now, as indicated by the appearance of these 3 title tabs. I'm going to start things off by making some random changes to these documents. I'll start by clicking on this big number 1 here with the black arrow tool, and then I'll press the backspace key to get rid of it. And now I'll go ahead and switch to the welcome document by clicking on its tab, and then I'll click on this group down here that contains my name, and I'll press the backspace key to get rid of it too. And then I'll go ahead and switch over to that 6-page document that I created in an earlier movie, and I'll just go ahead and select the rectangle tool, let's say, and draw a big rectangle on this second artboard. And now I'll go ahead and switch over to what Illustrator calls the selection tool. I call it the black arrow tool because that's what it is. And then I'll just go ahead and click off that rectangle to deselect it. All right, now you can see up here in the title tab that we have asterisks after each one of the titles, which tells us that we have unsaved changes. Now, I'll tell you from personal experience that the last thing that you want to do is leave your computer this way, especially if you're working in an office environment, because it's very possible that somebody is going to come along and want to close your documents, whether because they want to quit Illustrator or they just want to tidy things up. And so what happens is if I go ahead and click on this little close button up here in the title tab, I get a warning telling me that I have unsaved changes. And what most people are going to do is they're going to say, gosh, I guess, Sarah or Joe or whoever, they of course want to save their work. So I'll just go ahead and click on a yes button. But in our case, we deleted some elements, so that could really be a problem. Now, what a conscientious coworker should do, which is pretty rare, is click the cancel button. They should say, gosh, I have no idea whether Tom or Mary wants to save the changes, so I should just cancel out. What nobody does is click the no button and just assume that you don't want to save your work. And so what I'm telling you is the only one who really knows whether they want to save their changes is you. So what I'm going to do is cancel out here. And let's say I go ahead and switch over to the welcome.ai file, which is an obvious example of something I don't want to save because I deleted my own name. Now, notice up here in the File menu that you have a close command and it has a keyboard shortcut. But what you really want to do is you want to close all your open documents. You don't want to have anything open when you walk away from your machine. And so that means, in my case, I'm going to have to choose this close command or click on one of these close boxes a total of 3 times. But you do have the option to close everything at once. Now, while there is no close all command, we do have a keyboard shortcut. All you have to do is add the Alt key. So in other words, you just press Control-Alt-W. And that's going to bring up one alert message after another, all of which are going to offer the same buttons. If you do want to save your changes, then you go ahead and click on the Yes button. If you don't want to save your changes, but you do want to close the document, then click on the No button. And if you want to cancel the entire operation, just go ahead and click on the Cancel button. And notice that goes ahead and prevents the other 2 files from closing as well. But as I'm saying, I very much recommend that you do close your documents before you leave the machine. So I'll once again press Control-Alt-W in order to bring up the alert message. Now, each one of these buttons has a keyboard shortcut. It's Y for yes, N for no, so you don't have to press Control or anything like that. Just press the Y key to save your changes, press the N key to close the file without saving your changes, and press the S key, that is the escape key, in order to cancel the operation. So what I'm going to do is click the No button here because I don't want to save the deletion of that one. Notice that brings up another of my unsaved documents, at which point I'll just press the N key this time to avoid saving the changes. And then finally, I don't want to save the deletion of my name either, so I'll press the N key once again in order to close everything. And now I can walk away from my machine, whether it's public or private, with the knowledge that my artwork is safe and sound. And that's how you close all open documents and decide for yourself if you want to save the changes here inside Illustrator.